And they're away, and the cars leap ahead with the power of the electric motor. The torque pushed away. It's gone away completely clean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think they've gone away completely in order of the top 12. They get slightly shuffled here, but so far all the cars have made that sextuplet quite well. A final quality coming out. It's Perek Sartell from Ronefalk, and then third will be Musso. So we're with the first and second. There's a huge accident behind, I think for may have been for Savoia, but it's not people. And already Ronefalk is starting to look to put the pressure on Jean-Perek Sartell, the man who is quick but isn't experienced in being this far up in a final. He's done, but also Musso is all over the back of Ronefalk. So this is interesting because he's giving Sartell a chance to go. Musso goes at the inside of Ronefalk. They hop down towards us and then up and over and round, and so Ronefalk now pushes away. So we're looking very much with Ronefalk just because he's going to go one way or the other. He's got to try and get away around Perek Sartell. Ronefalk, of course, is the double reigning champion at this event. Won it in Spain 2 years ago, won it last year in Croatia. Against, in fairness, a less full field of the major stars of Nitro 8th buggy racing. There's a little bit of a break now. Musso being dropped slightly. Behind Musso, just for information, it's on Garo, and then the 5 car of Juan Carlos Canas. And now Ronefalk right behind Jean-Perek Sartell as we go into the second minute, looking to find a way through as they go round the Model Tune mountain. They power their way down the back straight. And the Carker corner. Now it's really going to be about, Sartell's got the basic ground speed to win this. Has he got the basic brain speed to do it as well? Can he stay confident? Can he stay concentrated? And you kind of wonder whether if Ongaro can get his way past Musso, whether he, but actually Ongaro was dropped by Musso in that last lap. So also Sartell settled down, got a little bit of an extra lead, and now Ronefalk's having a little bit of battle here in the north of front. Ronefalk had to do an extra jump. They didn't quite get it right, and you can see made a little bit of time mistake, lost 2 or 3 tenths. Sartell sweeps away, and more worryingly for Ronefalk, Musso gets closer. As the wind, as you can hear, picks up, and that's going to be affecting the cars when they're in the air. So that lap round, it was a gain of about 7/10 of a second there, and suddenly now Ronefalk is under pressure from Thomas Musso, the Monogas driver. Good year for Monogas drivers with Charles Leclerc, or probably a Ferrari driver at the end of it. So can Musso make more scale inroads in scale motorsport inroads as Charles Leclerc has in full size? They drop down, and certainly now Sartell putting down a bit of a lead. That time round he gained another 2/10 of a second, so it's now going to be a bit of a challenge. I think Ronefalk now, who had a cleaner lap, to manage to gap Musso. Drop back to Musso and Ongaro. They're battling now for third. I'll keep a look at the top. So Ongaro and Musso battling with third. Ongaro in the orange and the silver associated. Musso there, whoa, getting a bit of drive, but now worryingly they are getting close, but suddenly also Perek Sartell and Ronefalk are getting closer. So we're going to have to move back to the leaders. Oh no, because Ronefalk made a huge mistake, so stick where we are. Ronefalk has landed badly coming off the bridge, and now made another mistake. He's kind of dropping out of contention. So second and third is where it's at. So we need to drop. We are where we need to be. It's Musso in second. Perek Sartell's leading, but at this point, Ronefalk is looking at a bit of a disaster because he's going to have to try and come back from one accident. I've not seen anyone have an accident there landing from the jump. So Ronefalk drops out, and we are now looking at the battle for second and third. And Musso also is now gaining on Jean-Perek Sartell. So Musso, who won the first round of qualifying yesterday, and still ages to go. We haven't even had 4 minutes yet, the 10. He won the first round of qualifying yesterday, and so in a couple of stages, sort of faded towards the end relatively, where Sartell had a purple patch in the middle, winning rounds 2, 3, and 4, with Ronefalk picking up round 5. Ronefalk now has been effectively not dropped, but he's sat in fourth. It was better lap for Sartell that time round, slightly heavier ahead of Musso, and then you've still got Ongaro hanging on to see if he can pick up scraps. As this lap finishes round, it was a 32.2, 31.9 from Musso, 32.3, so Musso actually did get 3/10 on him. Interestingly, he just can't see at the track, which is the hairpin and the back corner. There's often quite large gains made, and I haven't got a particularly good view of those. But it looked to me that Perek had gained, Jean-Perek Sartell had gained, and then in the end, the clock told me that Musso was slightly closer, mostly on those last couple of questions. Musso now definitely looks a bit nearer now. Does that mean when they come round again, he'll look no further away? Who knows? But they drop down, and that lap round, it's a Sartell has made a 32.1 against a 32 flat, so another 10th. They sprint together up the main straight. Let's see if we can get both in the frame, Ash. hopping through the double. Now this is the one where you can win or lose large amounts of time. Both of them complete it well. Ongaro, I'm not going to say a watching brief. I think he's going as fast as he can, but he's not really gaining on these two French-speaking drivers. So you come under the FE Euros bridge and up and over. And that one, visually, I thought it was slightly quicker for Sartell. In fact, it was 700ths faster for Musso, who's made a little bit of mistake, lost a little bit of time in the ball work there. I'm not sure what they'll translate into. Ongaro had a good lap and gain. They've got some back marker action with how Figueiredo going to come up. Ronefalk just trolling round in fourth, thinking I need to do something in the next heat because I'm not going to get in that, barring a massive conflagration crash between the top three. He's not going to get any closer. And Sartell as he gets, so you've got Musso now and Sartell, and it was a 300th gain that time round for Sartell. He'll be the first person to meet the back marker. Now orange car is not in it as he's about to be lapped as How Figueiredo. So the first person to try and get through that. Now Figueiredo stayed on the line, and realistically he should have parked off it. So he'll be affecting Sartell's eye line, even if he's not affecting his time. But certainly now, look at this, Ongaro finding a little bit of pace and looking to pick up on the back of Musso. So Musso and Ongaro right together in the battle for second and third. It did allow Sartell to pick up 2/10 second ahead of them. So 1, 2 and 3 very close. Second and third right together. Can Ongaro move himself into contention from a position he's never looked bad, just doesn't look in super contention like he has normally this year. This is electric, of course, rather than IC. You drop back that time round. It's minute differences with 3 minutes to go, 7 minutes down. They are ebbing and flowing at the tiniest amount. 31.8, 32 flat, 32.3. So it's a bad one but already Ongaro had a bad bit now already for the earlier part of the section. Getting close to Musso again in this second and third battle. Sartell about a second and a half ahead. Lots of back markers about coming up now. I mean, obviously these are A-filers back markers. So they're not going to be wandering about like drunken yobs on a Saturday evening in Essex. Sartell having a good couple of laps there. He's managed to gap again, and Musso doing the typical thing. Once you get involved in your own battle, what happens is you lose time. And Ongaro now looking to the left and looking to right, sweeping round underneath us now, looking to try and pick up that second place and a springboard for a challenge for the European Championship. He's trying to be as clean as he can be as they go past the back marker, which is a 10 car. Now Sartell needs to look out because there's some accidents ahead of him, but that's been cleared. So Sartell is away, and it's very much his battle. And Ongaro on the inside, 3 bands, not quite making it. Musso came back across him. Superb run by Ongaro there down the back straight. Musso just had enough to come sweeping back ahead of him and close the door for the Garca corner in this battle for second place in leg one. But it's looking good for Jean-Pierre Sartell. The key point was earlier when we had a problem for Ronefalk, and he just marvellous overtake there. Fantastic stuff from Ongaro. Got up the inside of the boardwalk and unsettled Musso enough so much now that Ronefalk's getting close to him. So now in the remaining 1 minute and 38 seconds, is there anything Ongaro can do about the leader, Jean-Pierre Sartell, who's led from the buzzer under immense pressure for a while. Ronefalk now is looking up the mosses. Ronefalk now is caught back up again, which kind of makes you think that without the accident he had the ground speed to do something, but you can't see he had the accident, so there's no point saying without the accident. This is your battle for second, third and fourth on the screen. The leader, you'll see him just coming the other way now. That is Sartell. So Sartell hopped towards us. There we are. And there's Ongaro. And then you've got Musso. And Musso made a mistake. So into third place goes Ronefalk. So it's all about points as Musso made a mistake on the edge of the mountain. But this is great news for Sartell. He is about to win the first leg. He's got 51 seconds. I think he's got this one and one more only. I don't think he'll get 2 more. This one and one more for Sartell. But now Ronefalk is all over the back of Ongaro as well. So this is interesting. Can Ronefalk pick up second place from what looked like a race-definingly poor accident in about 4 minutes in? He's got this lap and one more. They're fighting for second place. Sartell, if he doesn't make a mistake, will take this win. So we will pick up second though. Ronefalk, we see Ongaro and Ronefalk battle so many times, but not normally for second, with a much less known Frenchman leading, and Jean-Pierre Sartell. Well, actually Ronefalk now hops down and on the outside, looking to get the inside of the boardwalk. Ongaro positioning his car well. Now, they're going to come up the inside. Ronafalk just sweep. They're over the inside. He's again now. What happens on the 6 now? And Ronafalk's taken on Garo on a fantastic 3-corner pass. But can he? No, they're coming in. They come together. The door was shut. That doesn't mean Ongaro will lose third place. Ronafalk takes the second place with 3 corners to go. Great win for Sartell. Sartell takes a win. Great second place for Ronafalk fight. Interesting, fantastic run the back there. Ronafalk finally got second back. Sets us up for a couple of great sub races in the next couple of heats. Ronafalk looking particularly disappointed because that one mistake probably took away his chance of winning, but he's got a good set of points. He's got a problem though, and that's that Sartell's won the first leg. So Sartell only needs to win another leg, and he'll win the whole thing. And that's where again, this is the run as Ronafalk battled a little bit with Ongaro, and he comes in the double. Oh,
no, that was the previous.
No, it's the previous one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wasn't sure where you're going with that one. There's your result. Perik Sartell 19.10 and 08. He's picked up the Jean-Perik Sartell picks up the win. Ronafalk is second. Ongaro is third. Thomas Musso is fourth. Juan Carlo Canas is fifth. Boots is sixth. Didn't even mention him once, did he, Boots? And he was sixth. Robert Battle didn't mention him once, and he was seventh. Savoia was eighth. We saw him crashing early on. And Baldini, Valanka, Figueiredo, Zanchetin, and Sartell Jerome. So 2 Sartell, but Jerome Sartell. In a pretty good race, I thought. I enjoyed that. No, this is the overtake. Okay. So this is Ongaro. He's feeling. Ronafalk realises he got up the inside, to the right-hand side. Ongaro comes across, and look at that. Beautiful stuff. Little bit of check pass, but that was great. And then, being able to, once you've done that, line the cars up properly to actually get them over the very tricky sextuplet. Great pass. And Ronafalk can be as proud as that, as annoyed he'll be about the mistake that cost him early on. Anybody apart from Jean-Perik Sartell wins this one. We are going to go to a third round this afternoon. We'll have a third round anyway. We'll have a third round winner this afternoon. You see Elliot Boots there looking intently next to Ongaro, looking to either side of the pillar, far side of the pillar. Here are your runners and riders. Jean-Perik Sartell from France in 1. Dave Ronafalk from Sweden in 2. Thomas Musso from Monaco in 3. David Ongaro from Italy in 4. Juan Carlos Canas from Spain in 5. Renaud Savoia from France in 6. Robert Battle from Spain in 7. Elliot Boots in the UK in 8. Martin Valanka from Austria in 9. Jerome Sartell from France in 10. Hal Figueiredo from Portugal in 11. Cyril Baldini from France in 12. And lucky loser or fastest repechage 13th, Alex Zanchetin from Italy. Ash, press record. Thumbs up if you press record. He's pressed record. That's good to know. Right, round 2 underway. Let's get on the main camera, shall we? Countdown is 32 seconds before we get started.
Thanks to modeltune.com.
Absolutely.
And to Ephra.
.11 seconds. Sartell car pointing into the first corner. Absolutely fine, nothing wrong with that. Crowd gathers to look at the second leg of the A final here at the 1/8 Electric, the E-Buggy European Champions. It's a very sedate start. Everyone making sure they get round clean, because you can lose so much in the first lap and you can't win that much. Any accidents here and you're going to fall to the back. Sartell and Ronafalk and Musso and Ongaro and Canas all cleared the first few corners safely. No real problems. It's Savoia again who's the big loser, and he's dropped to the back of the field. So 1, 2, 3, 4 all drop off the end of the bridge and complete their first lap in line astern form, equidistant, a couple of tenths behind. There's a little bit of an understeer there for Ronafalk because he came underneath us, and that just threw him slightly back into Musso's ground. But at the end of it, again, you've really got to be so careful in these first 3 or 4 laps. You don't make a mistake on the Sex 2, because you'll just be overtaken by everybody. Whilst the amount of time you'll lose will be the same whenever in the race you make the mistake, it's significantly more serious. You make it early on because you'll lose so many places. Now, Sartell again has got away quite nicely, and now Musso is worrying Ronafalk. So let's be on the second and third, which is Musso and Ronafalk having a worrying. In fact, Musso, where's Ronafalk gone? We've lost Ronafalk. Ronefalk's had a massive problem and dropped to the end of the... Ronefalk's in last. So Ronefalk's had a huge problem and dropped to last and probably is going to kiss goodbye to his Euro. And the second and third have crashed. This has been given to Sartell. Second and third have had an accident. Sartell is being awarded this championship because no one else is putting a challenge in this second heat. Something's happened to Ronefalk. He's lost a huge amount of time at the end of that second lap. And then second and third, which was Ongaro and Musso, crash, and now Canas is in second. And the lead that Sartell has after just a minute and 45 seconds is 4 seconds. And he's been... they are handing the European Championship to him, the other drivers. So Canas leads, he's in second place, and on camera from Musso from Ongaro, but the challenge from the rest of the pack disappeared in a lap. Still no idea what happened to Ronefalk, but he is running down in 10th of the 13 for no discernible reason. I think he may have got crashed underneath the bridge, but he was off camera, couldn't see what happened. Canas, Ongaro and Musso go down the back straight. There they are, Musso in third. But the major news is, hang on, Ongaro's now been scored as not in the race. I think Ongaro may have a transponder issue. This is going to be complicated later on. That's because it's not Ongaro. Okay, I've been calling it Ongaro, but it's the 8 car of Boots. So Ongaro's out. As has gone out, Ronefalk broken down. So we've lost Ongaro, Ronefalk's broken down. So we've now got a chasing pack for Sartell of Canas, Musso and Boots. Sartell is turning the fastest laps and is leading by several hours. 4 seconds, 4.3 seconds. It's really now down to him to lose. So interestingly, we've lost both Ongaro, who's stopped, and Ronefalk, who made a big mistake. And the net effect is that second, third and fourth are really handing this to the local driver, who, being local, doesn't change the fact that he fully deserves to be where he is. But Canas and Musso are fighting it out. We've already reached the point where if we don't see an accident from Jean-Pierre Sartell, they're not going to gain on. They're not going to gain in pure lap speed. That time round, Sartell 32.7, 32.8 for Canas, 32.2 for Musso. But Musso gets to the inside. Musso's got Canas. That gives him a little bit of a chance, sweeping up the inside of the boardwalk into second place. But even so, he's so far behind, and it's pretty obvious that Jean-Pierre Sartell is sensible enough to drive within himself. Sartell now has finished the lap, and Musso has finished up now. So the gap, 32.2, 32.8, and the gap is creeping up to... No, he's still just on 4 seconds. It was bigger than before. So Sartell is looking down the barrel of an... he got away with it. Sartell did make a mistake. He rolled, but he landed back, wheels down. So Sartell, a mistake off camera, but not enough to give anything more than a minor encouragement to Musso, who hasn't really managed to pull away from Canas. And that time round, as you see, even despite that error, it was only a 6/10 of a second gain by Musso. So if you can make a mistake, I think maybe and that's the overtake. Nice Musso, nice little block pass, a little bit of wheel contact, that's fine. So good work there from Thomas to get past Canas. But they have a bigger problem in the fact that the leader of this race, with just over halfway down, was given he's the fastest guy in qualifying. They gifted him a massive lead. And with that much space, you can relax. The chance of tightening up and feeling nervous is going to disappear. And Jean-Pierre Sartell is looking like he's going to wrap up the championship before lunchtime, which nobody wants. Even when that's nothing to do with us, but Jean-Pierre Sartell. So the Musso car lifting a wheel and comes round, and he gained... Well, it was a good gain that time. He gained 1.3 seconds that lap. I didn't really see a major issue with Sartell. So is Sartell tightening up? Are we going to get a bit of action? Sartell beautifully over the 6-2 point. I was watching him coming towards me. And whilst, yes, he possibly is just easing it back because he doesn't need to race, Musso gaining a little bit, 3:40 to go. This 10 minutes does give us enough time for some tactics to play out, but Sartell that time round 32.5, 32 flat, so Musso picked another half-second up. I think we could get a grandstand finish at least, even if we don't get an overtake. You'll be seeing Sartell coming through your bottom of your screen. He's just not on the same frame. He'll be on the same frame in a second. Look at in there, you'll see him as he pops around. But don't think there'll be any particular gain this time round. Musso, of course, was quick early on. He was the fastest in the first rounds. It's not like a bolt from the blue as the Monegasque driver looks to try and get on terms with Jean-Pierre Sartell. Did a 32.3 that time, goes to 31.8, so no, 32.3 both of them. So both did 32.3, so no gain either way there for either Musso or Sartell. Let's just move to Sartell. Look at the leader for a couple of laps. He's got to see whether he's going to tighten up knowing he could become a European champion or whether it's all going to be easy for him. He's up and down on the Model Tune Mountain. We've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. His lead's not massive anymore. His lead is just under 2 seconds. Added complication going to come up soon. A bit of back markerage. 32.2 that time round. 32. So Musso lost some time that time. So it's all looking more complicated for Musso now. He's back in the city. He had a lovely couple of games. He's looking at the point now. I think Jean-Pierre relaxed too much, and because of that, he lost him, and he realised he'd be a hurry up again when he saw Musso in the back of his peripheral vision. As we come to 2 minutes to go, 8 minutes down. Still now, with a gap of only 2 seconds, he had 6 earlier, so with a gap of 2 seconds, it's down to 1 error rather than several errors. 32.5, 32.4, 10th of a second gain for Musso, but we are in a situation with the car we're with. Jean-Pierre Sartell needs to make a mistake of some sort if he's going to lose this. And Musso makes a half mistake, so it's not worked out well for Musso. And he's got a car crash in front, managed to avoid. So it's been a good lap for Sartell. He's picked up another half second, I would say, as he sweeps around the hairpin. He's now 2.5 hours. He'll get 3 laps. He'll get in. So he's got 3 laps to go. Huge amount of traffic up ahead of him, but a comfortable lead after gaining another 9/10 in that one. So Sartell, it is a situation now where the only person who can beat Sartell is Sartell. Up ahead of him there are 3 cars, including Ronefalk, who's going to get lapped in this one, which is a bit strange. Really not worked for a couple of the drivers in this particular race. Last minute, so 2 laps when they finish this one. There'll be this one and 2 more. There's a lot of scruffling going around there, and that lap round for Sartell 32.2, 33.1, 32.9, 33.1. So the problem they've got now really is whether Sartell can get through these 3 drivers. They'll be asked to move out the way for Sartell. They hop around, the first one's out the way. Musso really now fading off the back of Sartell. We watch him hopping through the corner and looking to make it 2 out of 2. The battle with it, which we hope to have, disappeared after basically a lap and a half. And Sartell drives round now onto his last lap. He's now a few corners off becoming Euro. In fact, he doesn't need to overtake these guys because Musso's dropped off so much. He doesn't need to overtake anybody here. He just needs to keep it on the island. One more jump. That's really most important. Jean-Pierre now has just got what has been a relatively easy section to stay on the wheels, and he's going to win this in 2. He's going to turn. He's got one right-hand turn, and it drops down, and Jean-Pierre Sartell becomes your European champion. Well done, great stuff for him. I wouldn't. Apparently, his English isn't very good enough, so I won't talk to him because it's not his point. Because it's always a bit embarrassing for everybody involved. But Sartell wins it. Jean-Pierre Sartell takes the European Championship, his first European Championship in his home track.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
So wait, Ronefalk leads Musso, leads Ongaro, leads Canas in a all-star battle for second place. So Ronefalk coming out away, and there's a fall of the techno at the back, and Sanchez who's just kind of loused his day up slightly. I think so. I think he's gone with his coloured body or his blue body. But at the front, it is David Ronefalk leading away from Musso. 3rd place Ongaro, 4th place Canas. 5th place is Renault Savoy, then Robert Battle, then Boots, Sartell, Jerome. and they streak round in remarkably good order. I'm not sure whether they've had a slightly different think over lunch or what, but they are now lined up astern. Ronafalk looking to try and make a break from Musso. Musso, a bit of an enigma as far as speed is concerned. Sometimes he's been blisteringly quick, and sometimes slightly off the pace. At the moment, he's on the pace of Ronafalk because the gaps ain't growing. Ongaro has got quicker as the races have gone on over the past 2 or 3 finals and the last heat of the day yesterday. So his car kind of comes into itself, dropping off a bit there that time. The lap times last time round saw Musso 600 a second faster than Ronafalk, and Ongaro 3/10 slower than the pair of them. This time round, visually, I would say that Ongaro has gone quicker, Musso has gone slower, and Ronafalk about the same speed. So the three of them are breaking away from one car's Canas, and they're all a mistake by Musso to go really nasty landing coming off the bridge, and now it means Ongaro. So we now get back to the battle we kind of like get used to most of the time at the moment in 1/8, be it on road, be it IC or electric. It's Ronafalk versus Ongaro. As Ronafalk comes up towards the sextuplet, you'll see we are with Ongaro in second place. You'll just see Ronafalk flashing in and out of frame. They're not that far apart. Ronafalk probably will gap this a bit because Ongaro has looked good in the second half of the race. With 2 minutes down, that lap round was a 32.6, played a 32.4, and the gap is 0.9 of a second. It's visually a bit longer now. That part of the track was good to Ronafalk, but Ongaro now coming back into him. Oh, Ronafalk has a ridiculous 360 rotation on him at his own, and now they're right back together again. He kind of rotated with its own, like he's doing show-off donuts. Can't do more than 8 donuts, can you, like that?
It's bad for the engine.
That's right. So Ongaro takes the lead, and this could be an issue for Ronafalk because Ongaro is quick in the second half of the race. So as always, we're following the chaser rather than the leader, and therefore in second place it is Ronafalk, the HB driver. All these guys obviously already are thinking ahead to what's going to happen in November when we have the World Championships in Perth in 1/8 IC. My friend to the right here, Matt, will be there doing some videos and such like work, so watch out for that on the control pages, and probably we might even share it on we'll share it on the RC Racing pages, so there'll be some videos and some fun and some quality content
On my Instagram.
his Instagram, and I'm sure that there'll be some live streaming. But I genuinely don't know if it's live RC doing it or the club. I don't know.
I
I
might
guess
help.
it's live RC, but I don't know. But
We don't know.
it should be free, so enjoy that from Perth in the second week of November. I think so.
First. Second, yes.
So Ongaro, we are not quite 4 minutes down. Last time round picked up about half a second on Ronafalk.
Oh
And
dear.
Ronafalk's had a problem. Ronafalk's rolled.
He was upside down, he was upside down.
I didn't see it. Was he really? So Ronafalk rolls and drops back into 6th. And effectively Ongaro. Let's see. He'll be with the second and third take it. There we go. Because Ongaro now has a lovely lead from Musso and Bosworth battle. He did a crash, and now Canas goes through as well. So I don't think this is going to be an event which Ronafalk's going to look back on very fondly. He's had an accident in every single one. Managed to get back to second in the first round, disappeared in the second round, and this third leg is another accident. So he's not really had the car underneath him, or the driver today, to do what he wants to do. So he needs to shake this one off and think about what's going to happen next. Ongaro, though, I think we chuffed to bits to pick this up. He's not really looked super on the pace the whole time. But even so, could well end up with a... Oh, and it's got a bit aggressive now between Canas and... between Ronafalk and Battle. And Canas and the three... And another mistake is that Ronafalk really pushes like crazy to try and get something out of the day. And he drops further back, and Canas and Battle are having a argument with themselves. Let's pick up this Canas battle. It's coming down now onto the boardwalk section now, Ash. It's 5, 7 and 2. Canas, Battle and Ronafalk is battle 3rd, 4th and 5th. Musso is comfortable in 2nd, and Ongaro is comfortable in the lead with just over half the race down, and obviously therefore just under half the race to go. These three are absolutely throwing caution to the wind at this point. They've decided to make it almost an exhibition race. So Canas, it's 2 Spaniards and a Swede. 2 Mugans and an HB. And Canas in the 5. Holding, so he must have many laps with Robert Battle, who's behind him in the all-orange car, and then you got Ronefalk stalking. I would think that Ronefalk's just sitting going, this is just not my day. I've really just not done what I need to do. And unfortunately, it wasn't his day in Portugal a couple of weeks either. So it's, you know, it's. Then he had some fantastic days at the 1/10 in Reims, where he became double European champion in electric off-road.
It's
so
when we're not there, Nick.
I think you're right. Yeah, we need to be. We are well. Bad luck for his world championship then. I was doing him a favour by not turning up. So Ronefalk, was obviously told to give that place back. There's Ronefalk and battle away, but they're now battling for 4th. Ongaro's lead is stonking. Absolutely put down some laps now. Musso made a mistake as well. I'm not actually sure if Musso may have dropped out of 2nd place actually. No, he's not. So Musso goes underneath us, despite throwing 5 seconds away, still ahead of the triumvirate we had before. Battle now is in 3rd with the orange car, and in 4th place is Ronefalk. 5th is Juan Carlos Canas. Not quite sure what this is going to do to the result. It's going to mean, I think it's going to mean we're going up with Ongaro in 2nd and Musso in 3rd overall, but we'll have to find out. So Ongaro, big mover from qualifying, he'll be chuffed with that. So you go down the main straight again. Battle and Ronefalk. Battle, of course, he was the won the European Championship last year in Nitro. He also won the Neo. Had some problems in Portugal in the Nitro race. Had to call a timeout. Started from the back. Didn't come through as I think he ended up 4th. I think it wasn't a disaster, but obviously that was a surprise win for Bruno Cahello, who has spent the year trying to cement the fact that he's the most versatile RC racer in the world, certainly now, and possibly ever. Tim O'Hara, that's all it can be. I'm not saying best, I'm saying most versatile. Now Ronefalk gets a nice run there on Battle, but didn't quite have the gap to get past him and push his way through to 3rd place. Just to mind you, Ongaro is 2.7 miles ahead. Well, he's in by 9 seconds, and then Musso has a 3-second lead over this Battle, which is now being lost by Battle because Ronefalk's got back up into 3rd place. So Ronefalk is certainly not giving up. He's not sitting around the back sulking. He's making the mistakes and striking his way back through the field again, and that's going to do him some good because the man behind him has fallen off. The 9 car, whoever the 9 car is, that is the car of Martin Valanca, has thrown a tyre, and you can actually see the insert has fallen out the inside. So Ronefalk, with about a minute to go, is in no man's land. Let's go and find our leader. He's just going up and down the wall of death and on the back straight now, the 4 car. That is... and Ronefalk just crashed as soon as he moved away from him. So Ronefalk crashed and he's put down to 6th place again. It really just isn't really working for him. We're now with the leader. And it's been a pretty impressive performance actually by Ongaro. And you're probably still thinking, oh, I think I could have got a slightly better start in one of the other 2 legs. And saying that, he's 4 now, obviously. One of the other 2 legs, then it would have been plain sailing. But he's got such a lead that that little accident doesn't matter, because Musso was, prior to this, he was 9 seconds back, or probably about 6 seconds. As Ongaro probably, I think him and Musso will get on the last lap. It might just be him and Musso, and we'll do a final lap together. Not together, but so this is the last lap now of the European Championships. It's the last lap for Ongaro. It's going to be a win, barring some remarkable situation where he goes flat and he can't finish any lower than 2nd. Behind him will be Thomas Musso. Oh, Battle just got onto the last lap, so that's not all decided yet, though it is all by the shouting. Juan Carlos Canas is already 4th. Ronefalk's already 5th. They pull the cars in. Ongaro, hoppy floppy doppy, wins it. Great performance by the Italian. Good stuff, really was. So the Italian puts a bit of class down in the 3rd round, and we are just waiting to make sure that Musso does get in before Sanchez, Robert Battle Sanchez, and he does, and that means that Ongaro will pick up a second overall. That's the result of the race. So as you can see, you got Ongaro from Musso, from Robert Battle, from One Car's Canaz. Ronefelt was fifth, and I'm sure we'll be very happy. Figueroa sixth, better than the previous rounds. Savoy seventh, Sartell eighth. That's Jerome, not Jean Perry, didn't start because he won it. Baldini was 9, Boots 10, Zantettin 11, Valanka was 12. Now the big question is, have they updated the final results?
Bound to have.
Yep. Okay, so your overall result for the 1/8 electric off-road e-buggy European Championship here at New Le Mans in France.
Brought to you by moraltune.com and EFRA.ws.
Your champion is Jean-Pierre Sartell. In second place, it was David Ongaro. In third, Thomas Musso. Ronefelt comes in fourth. Juan Carlos Canaz is fifth. Robert Battle is fifth. So, Juan Carlos Canaz fourth. Just start again. Jean-Pierre Sartell is first. David Ongaro is second. Thomas Musso is third.